Whatever path you are on, whatever inspired you to come here today, we honor you and we welcome you. And now, our message.
Staying in that beautiful place that we created for us, following our dreams. The vocation is intention is to just anchor you in and get you centered here, open up and willing to receive. So just take a moment, close your eyes and get comfortable. And realize that you are in the presence of something very divine. A universal intelligence, an ultimate reality, a spiritual quest, God, whatever you choose to call it. And know that it surrounds you and is you at all times. That it is one with you and you with it. That you have control of your life and your experiences, your emotions, your physical being. May we be open today and receptive. May we be open and willing to hear. May we be open and willing to see, to feel. May we be brave enough to take the next step. Today we've come here to hear, to see, to breathe, and to dream. So in our minds and in our hearts, let us be present. Let us be open, aware, and be willing to receive the messages coming to us from within our own knowingness. And may we know peace. And so it is. So it is. Thank you. And Reverend Alley has a message for today. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Wonderful. Good. That wasn't very convincing. How are you? Good. Okay, good. That's better. Thank you, Russ.
You're welcome.
That was beautiful. So, here we are. We're on the third week of our talk, our theme this month, which is back to basics, or God, exploring this concept of God. So on week one, I delivered a talk called The Thing Itself. And that is the first chapter of the Science of Mind textbook, The Thing Itself. So we explored different ways we refer to that thing itself, God. And there's many words. Just in that first little chapter, 35 pages of the Science of Mind, there's probably 30, 40 maybe, words that Ernest Holmes uses for God. So I invite you just to take a moment to think about that for you. What words do you use to refer to God? The one life, the absolute, infinite intelligence, Mother, Father, the divine, Spirit, Atman. There's many names, many words, but they all lead to the same thing, which is really love. Love. spirit. And we each have this. We each have the capacity to know this love, to know this spirit, to know this life within us. Ernest Holmes talks about the thing itself, God, as being within each of us, that we are a part of the body of God. He talks about God being three in nature, three aspects of the divine. What we see as the body of God, so everything, including me and you, the trees, the planets, this is the body of the divine. We're it. And then there are the laws. There are the laws that keep everything in its place, everything working. The invisible side of life, the mystery, the part of it that we don't quite know or understand. But I think in the study of metaphysics, that's what we're looking at. We're looking at the mystery, the unseen, studying why things are the way they are. We don't just take things at surface value or face value. We go deeper to understand our connection with this mysterious world of laws and principles. So we study things like the law of attraction. So we understand that there's invisible principles, invisible laws that respond to us and help us engage in this thing called life. So there's the body, there's the mind, the laws, the soul, and then there's spirit. There's something, this divine spark, this wanting to live, this wanting to express. We each have that. So we are threefold. We're a body, we have a mind, and then we have a spark of life within us. Love, God. So he talks about the thing itself, and he talks about the way it works. The way it works is through us. We utilize this amazing system that we live in by directing our thoughts, by focusing our attention on what we want. So that is how we work it. We pay attention to the thoughts we're thinking. Because what I know, and what you probably have witnessed in your life, is that your thoughts become things. Your thoughts, coupled with your feelings, attract certain things. And that we each have attracted a certain life based on our beliefs and our thoughts. Would you say that was true? That you've created an experience that matches your beliefs? Yeah? That's tremendous knowledge. That's great power. Just having the awareness of that is an astonishing power. Because what it says is, okay, I have power to choose the thoughts I think, to adopt new beliefs, and therefore, through this mysterious law of operating, the universe then matches those beliefs, and it becomes our life. Thoughts become things. And you can see this as you look around your own world, as you look into your own life, and you see different people have different experiences. Why are some people happy and some people sad? Why are some people prosperous and some people broke? It's because of their beliefs. It's their belief system showing up as their life. So what's in your belief system? What's in your belief system? Well, a way to gauge and to look at that is to look at what's going on in your life. To look at all areas of your life, your health, your finances, your vocation, your ability to engage and do things that you love to do. It's all going to be a match to the thoughts you think, to your belief systems. So that's the good news that we share here every Sunday, well, actually all week long. I love that Lyle took that reading right out of the chapter that I wrote my talk on. Where are you? Because now I can't read half of my quotes. Yeah, it's good that we're on the same page.
Pun intended.
That's fun. We are on the same page. So my talk for today is called You Are the Answer. Because this third chapter is about how we use these laws of the universe, how we can use them to create better results in our lives. And really, you are it. You are the key component to you having a successful life, to you being happy, to you enjoying it. It's you. Ernest Holmes says that we have to be receptive. We have to be open and willing and receptive to open up to a greater life, a greater good. So it's not going to come if you're closed, and if you're going to continue to keep thinking negative, limiting thoughts that keep giving you a negative, limiting life. In order to change that, we have to be willing to think different things and to take different actions. Because whatever it is that you want, whatever it is that, whatever the life that you love looks and feels like, requires you and me, all of us, to think thoughts that match that. And to take actions in that direction. Because we can do all of the airy-fairy affirmations and do visionings and all of those things, but if we don't do the inner change, if we don't shift and change our beliefs, the way we think, and what we do, we're going to continue to have the same old results. Because what happens is with affirmations, some people in the classes I teach say, well, I've done these affirmations, they don't really work. Why don't they work? Because we can say something over and over again. I'm happy, I'm now experiencing wealth and abundance, I am now enjoying my job. You can say all those affirmations, but unless you believe it, unless you truly believe it, and you're thinking thoughts in that direction at least 51% of the time, you're not going to be moving in that direction. You're going to just be saying affirmations that don't align with your beliefs. So, we get to cultivate the thoughts and take the actions that align with the life that we love. So when I'm working with people, when I'm teaching classes, most of you will know this, that have taken classes with me, I ask you, what do you want? And then I hear a lot of people talking about what they don't want. And then I say, well, what do you want? Because we so know what we don't want, don't we? We know what we don't want. But then when someone says, well, what do you want? What would you love? What life would you love? So think about that. Think about the life you would love. And then start thinking thoughts that align with that. That's how we utilize these laws so that we can create the experience that we want. But what undermines that intention, that conscious thought, is the subconscious mind within you, where those little voices come in. Oh, you don't have the smarts to do that. You're too old, or you're too young, or you're too fat, or you're too thin, or you're too whatever. All of those little niggly voices, that criticism that comes in the quiet moments, is what negates that affirmation. One of my friends said to me, not one of us has the luxury of a single negative thought. Now that's the good news and the bad news, isn't it? So don't beat yourself up. Just know that every moment's a new moment. That when we catch ourselves in that place of personal criticism or negativity, or find ourselves criticizing someone else, or negatively judging, or having strong, firm, negative opinions about something, we can just breathe. We can do a sweet little Abraham meditation like Lyle introduced us to, and we can change our thoughts into a direction of the positive, into the affirmative side of life. Because like attracts like. That's how we make shifts. It's nothing, there's no mystery to this. It's super duper simple. It's just not very easy. Super easy, simple, but not very easy. So we just need to recondition ourselves, reprogram ourselves. That's why affirmations really, really are important. They really are, but you have to believe them. And you have to think thoughts about yourself that support them. So we can get stuck in patterns of thinking, negative patterns of thinking, until we don't really even know that we're doing it. We don't know that we're doing it. We become habituated to thinking in a negative way about ourselves. And we have to look at that and change it. Because what I know about each of us was born perfect. Each of us was born with the ability to love and be loved. So really, that's all we need to remember. That we're here to be the presence of love. And if you give yourself permission to do that, to be the presence of love, you will work with these universal laws to manifest a life that you love. Because the law, life always clothes itself with your thoughts, with your desires. So you showing up as the presence of love, your life becomes the life you love. But the minute you slip into the negative, something happens, and you just don't see the love that's present right here and now. You have to be it to see it. You have to be it to see it. Ernest Holmes says, here and now we are surrounded by and immersed in an infinite good. How much of this infinite good is ours? All of it. All of it. It's all ours. It isn't measured out, given to some, and withdrawn from others. Each of us have the capacity to experience and receive and live this good to the degree that we're receptive to it, to the degree we're willing to say yes to it. And that reminds me of a story. Some of you are in the prosperity class with Pam, and you'll recognize this story. So each of us has the ability to have this amazing life. You're the only thing that's limiting it. So this little story sort of demonstrates that. A man had a check, and he wanted to cash the check, and it was a large check, and so he went to the bank, and he went to the teller, and he said, I'd like to cash the check. And the teller said, well, just sign your name on the check, and I'd be happy to cash your check. And the guy said, well, no, I'm not signing my name on the check. Then you'll have the check, and you could cash it, and then it won't be my money anymore. You could take it. He said, it's banking policy. You just put your... He goes, no. He said, well, fine. So he went off, and he went to another bank. And he went to the second bank, the second teller, and he said, I'd like to cash this check. And the teller said, well, just sign your name on the back of the check, and I'd be happy to cash that check for you. He said, oh, no, I'm not signing my name on the check. You might take it and spend it, blah, blah, blah. And so he left, and he went to the third bank, and he said, I'd like to cash this check. And the teller said, okay, just sign your name on the back of the check. And he started going on about, no, he's not. And so the teller was getting a little frustrated with him, so he took out a hammer from the back of his counter, and he whacked him over the head with it. And so the guy signed the check, and the teller gave him the money, and he was so happy. He went back to the first teller, and he said, see, I got the cash. The bank down the street cashed my check. And the teller said, well, banking policy is that you sign your name on the check, and I bet you have to do that. And he said, yeah, but they explained it differently there, in a way that I didn't get it before. So what this is saying is, each of us have a life that we want. ability to live the life that you love. But you have to be willing to sign your name on that life. You have to be willing to jump in all the way. You have to say yes to yourself. How do you do that? By continuing to think that you deserve it. By knowing that the sheer fact that you're here and alive is confirmation of your worth and your value and your ability to have the life that you want. Whatever you've done in the past, however wicked and nasty and whatever you were, it doesn't matter. It's right now. You get to have the life you want when you commit to it and you say yes to it and you sign your name on it. Are you willing to do that?
Yes.
One person. One person. Are you willing to commit to the life you love?
Yes.
Are you willing to sign your name on the check of your life?
Yes.
Are you willing to think positive thoughts that align with that life?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so I'm going to just make sure I've covered everything. I think I have. So as I close, I encourage you to really ponder this week, because next week Lyle's going to be talking about how to use it, or something else. I cannot remember the last chapter's title. And so I want you to be thinking this week of what is your belief system? What thoughts are you thinking? And do they line up with that life, with the life that you love? Not the life you kind of want, or the life that's just a little bit better than this one, but a life that you love. Are you thinking thoughts that make that happen? Because it's up to you. Because you are the answer. Thank you. So let's close our eyes and turn within. And I'm going to share with you a spiritual mind treatment or an affirmative prayer. And this is one of the processes that we teach here at the Solitude Center that opens us up to be in congruence with the life that we want. This is the energy work that we teach in our classes. So number one in this process, this prayer process, is to know that there is only one life, only one love. And this one life is happening now. It is my life, and it is your life, it is our life. It is the only experience we've ever had. It is infinite and eternal and absolute. It is everything we see and know and touch and taste and feel, and it is good. So as I align myself with this awareness, this recognition, as I feel my unity with all sentient beings, I speak my word, and my word is power. I direct my faith through my words. And every word is a prayer. Every word is a wish that the universe says yes to. So I speak my word today for each of us in this room, that our path this week is guided and directed by love, that we are lifted up to the positive side of life, and that we instantly see the manifestations of our positive thinking. We see love, and we see peace, and we see goodness, and we see creativity, and we see abundance and prosperity. Why? Because it's what we believe about life. Life is good. Life is kind. Life is amazing. Life is a miracle. And as we start to vibrate at that level, our experience matches it. So I know and accept for each of us that we just let go. We simply let go of any negative thought, any self-criticism, any old, outdated patterns of thought that no longer serve the life we love, we let that go. We just say thank you and release it. So I know that as I stand here right now in this beautiful room filled with these amazing, loving souls, that we have the power to send our love out from this room. So let's do this together. Waves of love and light moving out from our hearts, out into the greater area of Ogden, out into this state of Utah. Let's send out love and peace and healing and happiness. May all beings without exception be strong and powerful and safe and protected. And may all beings without exception experience loving kindness. And may all beings without exception live and love with ease. For this we are blessed. For this we say yes. And for this we are thankful. And so it is.
And so it is.
Namaste.
Thank you for blessing us with your presence today and being a part of the Satya Center. You're invited to join Reverend Ali and Reverend Lyle each Sunday morning at 10 a.m. for your dose of connection, inspiration, and co-creation. The Satya Center is located at 795 24th Street, Ogden, Utah. For directions, a map, and our service times, please see our website, thesatyacenter.org. This program was brought to you by the kind donations from the members of the Satya Center. Thank you.